Okay, this is another question that we have to use approximation, so continuity correction is needed here. A garden shop sells polyanthus plants in boxes, each box containing the same number of plants. The number of plants per box which produce yellow flowers has a binomial distribution with mean 11 and variance 4.95. So mean equals to 11 and then the variance is 4.95. Okay, so from here find the number of plants per box. So we know for binomial distribution mu equals to np. So mu is 11, n is what I want to find, okay, which I don't know, and then p is also not known yet. Okay, so probably I can use variance formula whereby variance equals to npq, and if np is 11, variance equals to 11 times by q, and variance is given as 4.95. So therefore 4.95, we have to divide this by 11, and that's what q is. So use your calculator. 4.95 divide 11, and the answer is 0.45. So q equals to 0.45. If q equals to 0.45, then p equals to 1 minus q, which is 0.55. Okay, so we have those values. Now find the probability that a box containing exactly 12 plants, so this is part A. So for part B, okay, the probability is to contain the number of plants is, the success is 0.45. And this question, find the probability that the box contains exactly 12 plants. So 12 C, sorry, how many? Not 12. No, I need n, isn't it? Yeah, still haven't got the n value. Okay, my bad. Okay, let's find out what's n. So if q equals 0.45, so n should be 11 divided by p, whereby 11 divided by p, which is, where's that 0.55. okay, let's find that. Yep, I made an error here. So n equals to 11 divided by 0.55, which is 20. Okay, so 20. Okay, now it makes sense. Okay, so we have 20 plants, and out of those 20 they want exactly 12 plants which produce yellow flower. Okay, so that's my bad, pardon me. So let's erase this. So now, so it should be 20 C12. Yeah, that's correct. So now P is 0.55, and that's to the power of, since they want 12, so it should be 12, and the failure is 0.45, and 20 minus 12, which is 8. Okay, and use your calculator to find the answer. And the answer is 0.1623. Yeah, that's enough. 0.1623. Okay, so that's done for part A and B. Okay, for next part 2, another garden shop sells polyanthus plant in boxes of 100. The shop's advertisement states that the probability of any polyanthus plant producing a pink flower is 0.3. Producing a pink flower is 0.3. Therefore, okay, let's list down all the values that we have. That way it's easy. So we have 0.3 pink flower. Okay, producing pink flower is 0.3. Use a suitable approximation to find the probability that a box containing fewer than 35. Okay, fewer than 35. So first of all, I have to find what is the mean. So for approximation from binomial to normal distribution, approximation, okay, from binomial we're going to approximate using normal distribution, then we have to use mu equals to np. Okay, in this case, what is n is how many boxes they have. They have 100 boxes. Out of that 100 boxes, what we have to find. Okay, so out of that 100 boxes, fewer than 35 plants in that 100 boxes. So 100 and then times by p. In this case, p is 0.3. It's not 0.5. Yes, 0.3, because the probability of any polyanthus plant producing a pink flower is 0.3. So 0.3. So here we have 30. Okay, as our mu. Okay, once we have mu, then I can find out what is standard deviation. Standard deviation is the square root of npq. In this case, n is 100 and p is 0.3. If p is 0.3, then q should be 0.7. Okay, let's multiply that. So that's 100 times by 0.3, which is 30. 30 times by 0.7 should be 30 times 7 to 10, so 21, square root of 21. Okay, so that's our standard deviation. Now, okay, this is an approximation. The question says use a suitable approximation. So we need to approximate. This is where we use continuity. Okay, this is where we use the continuity correction. Okay, now let's look at this. We have a bell curve, and this bell curve, what do we have here is fewer than 35. And what's our mu? Our mu is 30. And fewer than 35, so it's over here. Okay, fewer than 35. Let's say 35 is here. Okay, fewer than 35. So I'm going to draw here. Okay, let's say I have a bell curve that's coming down somewhere like this. Okay, it doesn't have to be accurate. Okay, somewhat like that. Okay, now this is 35, fewer than 35. So we are not looking at 35, we are looking at anything less than 35. So if this is 35, what is my lower bound? My lower bound is 35.5 and my upper bound is 35.5. My lower bound is 34.5, my upper bound is 35.5. But since the question requires to find lower, okay, not lower, fewer than 35, okay, fewer than 35, we are not taking 35, we are looking at everything that's less than 35. So what's my continuity correction that I have to use? I have to use minus 0.5. So if I use minus 0.5 to approximate the binomial, we have p probability less than 35.5. okay, for normal distribution it should be x is less than 35.5. so that's the x value that I'm going to use. So take the x value and find z score. Okay, find your z score. So 34.5 minus 30 and divide by square root of 21, because that's the standard deviation. Now let's use calculator to find the answer. So 34.5 minus 30, and that's divided by square root of 21, and the answer is 0.9820. Okay, now to find the probability for x is less than 34.5, we use the phi of 0.9820. This is where we use MF19. Okay, let's use MF19. Okay, the value that I have from MF19 is 0.8370. Okay, 0.8370. So the probability for x is less than 34.5 is approximate value of normal distribution, okay, for binomial which is less than 35, I can approximate using normal distribution as x is less than 34.5, and for that the probability that we are getting is 0.8370.